Hey, all you wonderful people out there, this is TYT Politics, trying to always cover the real topics and no BS conflicts. I'm Andrew Jones, and hopefully my face is not too shiny for you. But right now, just giving you a full live video on a report that was just published that yours truly was fortunate enough to do in regards to it not being fortunate that this company right here, yes, lovable Comcast, let's just say that they have not had their shows on their networks be able to tell you or at least disclose or may not even know their own company's lobbyist spending on net neutrality issues and most likely to try to rid of Title II net neutrality that they have been publicly against since the then Obama-led FCC voted to install it in February 2015. They have spent millions of dollars since the fourth quarter of 2014 to the first quarter of this year, 2017, on the issue, but you wouldn't know it if you watch NBC News or CNBC or MSNBC, because first, the topic doesn't get that much attention, especially since they are so obsessed over the Trump administration all over the place, covering it 24/7. But also the fact that when they cover it, despite them always trying to say that, hey, Comcast is owned by, Comcast owns MSNBC, CNBC, or NBC News, that they don't mention that their company is spending so much money on net neutrality lobbying, and particularly in regards to Title II net neutrality, to maybe try to, forget maybe, they have expressed again publicly how they want it gone. Expressed it publicly since the possibility of the FCC voting on the rule, and ever since it's been in effect. You've had one lobbyist firm that Comcast has proudly given money to represent their interests in net neutrality issues without disclosing it on air to you, whether it's Rachel Maddow's show or Chris Hayes' show or Lawrence O'Donnell's show or their continuous different array of afternoon acres and hosts, and then wanting to now go this light fixed propaganda way with the failure that was Greta Van Susten's show, which basically had lower ratings than 5 a.m. infomercials on Bravo or on whatever network they show infomercials, probably USA Network, but who knows? But that's what they do. So you've had one of their law firms that they are proudly giving money to represent them on net neutrality issues, Forbes Tate. And Forbes Tate, they represent a wonderful array of selfish, power-driven, money-hungry, crazy, affluent companies. Not only with Comcast, they represent other telecom giants, Verizon and T-Mobile, but they also represent Pharma, Oracle, Anheuser-Busch, H&R Block, the Internet Television Association, Bank of America, and last but certainly not least, the Bipartisan Policy Center. Because, oh, what happens when you have bipartisan policy centers and bipartisan people in the Beltway? Yeah, a lot of terrible things that keep the powerful and status quo fully in dominion over all of us. Yeah, so that's one of the law firms that Comcast has wanted to represent and felt that they were great for them to lobby for them on net neutrality issues, which they've almost spent $4 million in that time period from late 2014 to the first quarter of 2017. Yep, and they've done this without their news shows, and some of their news shows, they may not actually even want to look into the congressional lobbying for us because they know how their company has expressed their aversion to Title II net neutrality. And by the way, that's the real net neutrality. They always keep on saying that they're about this open internet and that they do support net neutrality, but oh, they just don't support Title II net neutrality, when in fact that's the real net neutrality that is going to hold them accountable so that you can be able to watch all of us on this channel without your internet being slowed down or you having to possibly pay for higher speeds and higher rates. Because you definitely want to see the good Sir Jordan C., who put the final editing on this piece in terms of just finally looking at it since it was ready to go. You want to see him on his whole break reporting, on his whole fearless, intrepid reporting, that he'll go anywhere. But yet, that could be in serious jeopardy if you have Comcast and these other powerful telecoms controlling and setting the rules for internet speed. It's just as simple as that. Even if you're not a big tech policy advocate or a policy activist, you already know the basis of this, especially since you are fans and followers of this wonderful channel. So, and the funny thing about this is that despite how they worried so much about Title II net neutrality, how it would have a crippling effect on them, as they always say, well, their CFO last December, Comcast's CFO, went and said directly that they thought it could have had an effect, but it actually didn't. And it clearly at all had no effect whatsoever because they are doing so well on their bottom line and in their company. So yes, if you want to see the report, it's over at our Medium page. Yes, we do have a Medium page for those that may not know that, but the full report is on there where you can see all those wonderful details and all that lavish spending that has given to the Sorry about that. Had a little button malfunction right there. But you can see all their lavish spending, the amounts of money that has been given, that they've decided to bestow to these law firms to represent them in their full interest over at Medium, with the full story there for you to see in all its glory. And once more, when you have now a former Verizon lawyer and just relative conservative hat nut who's in charge of the FCC and Amjad Pai, well, he represents how they want to fully get rid of Title II net neutrality, which you wouldn't know how much money they spent on their cable networks if you just watch them solely. So again, Comcast, they maybe now after this report will have their news shows go further beyond just stating that Comcast owns them and this is how they feel about the issue of net neutrality. No, you need to state how much money, how much moolah, how much cheddar you are actually spending on DC lobbying on this issue to your viewers. Because it shouldn't be us that's doing it, but it leads to us having to report on it and break it down just like that. So, may you enjoy that report, and may you enjoy the rest of the day with Jordan, Emma, me, or anyone else whatsoever. So, or whosoever. So, for TYT Politics, I'm Andrew Jones, and take care. And if you're from Comcast watching this, well, I hopefully maybe contributed to you guys doing better news practices, and that you may actually have a good day too. Maybe not after you see this and you see the report, but hey, this is what happens when you don't represent the people. And no, good sir, it is not an earthquake actually. It's just that me holding the camera a little bit firmly. It's moving all over. But yeah, it's keeping it stable right now. All right, for TYT Politics, I'm Andrew Jones. You enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm outie 5000.